Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, June 7th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath. And it is an invitation for you to pause in the busyness of your day, to just breathe for a few minutes, and to be still and calm in the presence of God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. I've been reading through the Gospel of Mark and doing a little bit of teaching, just a little bit of teaching about Mark and the story of Jesus as he tells it, and using that then as a guide for our prayer time, in a way praying through the scriptures. Today we're on Mark 9 verses 14 through 29. This story comes right after the story where Jesus is transfigured and becomes dazzling white. As he comes down the mountain with his three disciples, they come upon a crowd, and the crowd is arguing with his disciples. And Jesus asks what's going on. And the scribes and the Pharisees and a father, says, well, I brought my son to your disciples and asked them to cast out this spirit that has seized on him. And they couldn't. Jesus engages the father in a conversation. The father says, if you can, cast out. And Jesus says, if I can, if I am able. All things are possible with God through faith. And then he casts out the demon. The father cries out prior to that, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. And there is that tension in this story between our faith and our unbelief, our struggle to believe. And we get from this a sense that faith is never having all the answers, but it's more a sense of trusting in God and God's presence. And Jesus then teaches about prayer. And what prayer is, as we read through the Gospel of Mark and think about it, is communing with God so we learn to trust God even when we don't get the things we want. Prayer is not manipulating God into giving us what we want or to doing what we want. It is being in the presence of God and trusting God. It's Jesus in the wilderness when he's confronted by Satan and he's in prayer. He's communing with God and dealing with all of those things. It's Jesus on the mountain praying, not my will, but thy will, as he gets ready to go to the cross. Those are times of prayer. And so I invite you, if you haven't already done so, to go to a quiet place in your house and close the door. The focus verse for today is verse 29. He said to them, this kind can come out only through prayer. And I want to think and invite you into a time of prayer that is a time of trusting in God. So settle into a chair or on the floor or a couch. Get comfortable and feel the support of whatever is supporting you. Chair, floor, couch. Let the muscles in your body relax. Close your eyes. Take some deep breaths. As you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all of your worries and your fears and your anxieties. Keep breathing deeply and allow God's peace to spread over you. Maybe imagine it like a blanket that is wrapped around you on a chilly night. You pull it up over your head. You pull it around your body. And you tuck your feet up under it. And as the warmth spreads in your body, so does the peace and calm of God. Can you feel it spread from your head to your face, to your neck, to your shoulders, and down your arms and your hands? Can you feel it in your chest, and in your abdomen, in your back, in your legs? Can you feel yourself letting go of all of the stresses and strains of the day? That blanket wraps you in the love and grace and kindness and protection of God. And then in your mind's eye, go to a room with a couch. You are seated there with a representative of God. Might be a man, might be a woman, might be a person of your choice. As you look into the eyes of this person, you trust them. You trust them in a way that allows you to be open and vulnerable. To talk about the things where you are confident and the things that cause you to struggle. And to receive God's unconditional love and grace. You are accepted by God and welcomed by God. I'll be quiet while the two of you talk now. And then the time comes for the conversation to end for now, and the two of you say goodbye in whatever way is appropriate. You know you can always come back to this place and meet with God whenever you want. And then you let that image fade away, and you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you're ready, open your eyes. That's take a break, take a breath for Monday, June 7th. If you have feedback for me or want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.